Hi, this is Dr. Conley again. Want to talk with you about social class and kind of explore this a little bit more. Um, One question that I'm always interested to know is, can you tell one's social class by looking at them? And I'm hearing some yeses, and I can hear some no's as well. What I've been thinking of doing this for the last few weeks. I'm going to create a discussion called sociological conversations. If you're thinking anything sociologically, you want to start a discussion about it, and anyone can kind of just hop in and explore, go right ahead. I'll probably put one up with the question, can you tell someone's social class by looking at them, and kind of elaborating. And I wanted to read from you a book, an excerpt from a book entitled The Millionaire Next Door, that talks about what does the typical millionaire look like. Okay. These people cannot be millionaires. They don't look like millionaires. They don't dress like millionaires. They don't eat like millionaires. They don't even act like millionaires. They don't even have millionaire names. Where are the millionaires who look like millionaires? The person who said this was a vice president of a trust department. He made these comments following a focus group interview and dinner that we hosted for 10 first-generation millionaires. His view of millionaires is shared by most people who are not wealthy. As a matter of fact, our trust officer friend spent significantly more for his suits than the typical American millionaire. He also wears a $5,000 watch. We know from our surveys that majority of millionaires never spent even 1/10 of $5,000 for a watch. Our friend drives a current model imported luxury car. Most millionaires are not driving this year's model. Only a minority drive a foreign motor vehicle, and even a smaller minority drive foreign luxury cars. But ask the typical American adult this question, who looks more like a millionaire? Would it be our friend the trust officer or one of the people who participated in our interview? We would wager that most people, by a large margin, would pick the trust officer, but looks can be deceiving. There's a concept called big hat, no cattle. We heard this expression from a 35-year-old Texan. He owned a very successful business that rebuilt large diesel engines, but he drove a 10-year-old car and wore jeans and a buckskin shirt. He lived in a modest house in a lower middle-class area. His neighbors were postal clerks, firemen, and mechanics. After he substantiated his financial success with actual numbers, this Texan told us, "My business does not look pretty. I don't play the part. I don't act it. When my British partners first met me, they thought I was one of our truck drivers. They looked all over my office, looked at everyone but me. Then the senior guy of the group said, 'Oh, we forgot we're in Texas. I don't own big hats, but I have a lot of cattle.'" In other words, how does the Texan dress? I mean, if one wanted to stereotype, a pickup truck, jeans and a hat, okay? And probably has a lot of cattle. So, now I want to briefly talk with you about what does a typical millionaire look like. Portrait of a Millionaire by the studies. Okay. About 1 in 5 of us is retired. 2/3 of us who are working are self-employed. Interestingly, self-employed people make up less than 20% of the workers in America, but account for 2/3 of the millionaires. Also, 3 out of 4 of us who are self-employed consider ourselves to be entrepreneurs. Most others are self-employed professionals such as doctors and accountants. I encourage you all to become entrepreneurs because, according to Karl Marx, what is that phrase? The two classes of people? I like to think of you as being bourgeoisie in the making, entrepreneurs. Many of the types of businesses that we own could be classified as dull normal. We are welding contractors, auctioneers, rice farmers, owners of mobile home parks, pest controllers, coin and stamp dealers, and paving contractors. On average, our total annual realized income is less than 7% of our wealth. In other words, we live on less than 7% of our wealth. Most of us, 97%, are homeowners. We live in homes currently valued at an average of $320,000. About half of us have occupied the same home for more than 20 years. Thus, we've enjoyed a significant increase in the value of our home, although things are changing a little. But interesting, Warren Buffett, who's still, I think right now he's the richest person in the world. He still lives in the same home for the last 30 years. Makes you wonder. We live well below our means. We wear inexpensive suits and drive American-made cars. Only a minority of us drive the current model year automobile. Only a minority ever lease our motor vehicles. I'm breaking because I'm thinking. This is not a formal assignment, but interesting. From now until next week, or perhaps this will be another thing you'll put down if in the sociological conversations. I want you to write down every penny you spend. Every penny you spend. Interestingly enough, these millionaires live off of very little of their 7% of their wealth. Now, when we talk about savings, a lot of us, I can't save. But let's track our money from now, which is Monday, October 17th, until Sunday. Write down every penny you spend from the time you watch this video. Some of you are going to say you watched the video started Saturday night. No, I'm teasing. But just kind of write down every penny from now until, let's say, Sunday the 23rd. Okay? Be interesting to see kind of what comments you come up with. All right. 80% of us are first generation affluent. Another characteristic of millionaires. We have a quote unquote go to hell fund. In other words, we've accumulated enough wealth to live without working for 10 or more years. Okay. And we save at least 15% of our earned income. Okay. Last characteristic I'll talk about just briefly. I'm a tightwad. That's one of the main reasons I completed a long questionnaire for a crispy $1 bill. These millionaires, their pay was a dollar bill. And the guy says, they made me another offer to donate in my name the money I earned for the interview to my favorite charity. But I told them I am my favorite charity. Okay, just little portraits of some millionaires. Alrighty, so this is what I kind of wanted to plant some seeds in your head regarding social class, and perhaps we'll explore this on the sociological conversations. This is Dr. Conley saying thank you, and I will see you next time. Have a great one.